That is Andrew Abbott making a visit to Cincinnati Children's Hospital. This is Players Weekend, and all weekend long, players wearing spikes painted by the kids at Cincinnati Children's. We highlighted many of them last night. Tyler Stevenson did not start in last night's game, but he has taken it one step further. Not only his spikes painted, but his catcher's gear. You'll notice a flare tonight as well, including a very colorful chest protector painted by one of the kids. Here's Tyler.
It's very colorful. I like. No, I didn't. I just kind of let him just go free with it. Says you're out, which is pretty cool. When they did the logo, I'd imagine Calvin is the one who painted it, so he did a great job, and I'm excited. I do enjoy watermelon, especially in the summertime when it's really hot out. So yeah, they turned out great. They do a good job. But the kids have to go through on a daily basis, and for them to be able to design these, and then we go out on the field and wear them and stuff. So it's cool. It's really cool that we get to do this.
It's a wonderful connection, and it's great to see all the smiles that it induces. Reds looking for rebound in the desert. Stevenson will be behind the plate. Rhett Louder on the hills. We take you to break. It's our Bet 365 betting odds. We're talking Tyler Stevenson over under hits and RBIs. Your choice. The game is next.
Undercover, shaded from the sun, Chase Field the site. Reds and D-backs, middle game of 3. Reds offense had a hard time getting going yesterday, tamed to the tune of 4 base hits. They only sent 1 man be on second base all night. Full 9 for Terry Francona from St. Elizabeth Healthcare. Ellie De La Cruz, it's been a rough month of August. Could he be a spark? Sal Stewart, he's on pace for 34 bombs, 121 RBIs. With a right-handed starter, but today back up to his more natural 3 spot. Tyler Stevenson, Eugenio Suarez, Matt McLean showing signs of good life over the last week plus. Dane Myers, Hector Rodriguez gets a start. Ke'Bryan Hayes rounds out the 9. They've got to deal with Michael Soroka, who missed a couple of months on the IL, but has been smooth.
He's going to steadily feed you that breaking ball, especially as the count builds. You'll see some fastballs, occasional changeup, but for the most part, it's going to be that pitch that he calls a slurve. It is a slider curve hybrid, and it's sharp, and it's a good one.
Had both a glute strain and soreness in his hip. A couple of solid starts since bouncing back. De La Cruz 0 for 4 yesterday, hitting 149 in August. Ball 1. Ellie's OPS this month is sub 500. It's 499. That's the lowest of any month in his career.
Yeah, and you think about that, John. You think about your hitter in the leadoff spot, that he is struggling, and it has trickled. It has had a huge trickle-down effect in the way that the Reds have been swinging the bats here in the month. I mean, they're on a pace that would be historic for not scoring or not getting hits.
That's bolted over first base. De La Cruz darts up to second. That's a strong start. A standing double.
But what we do know, and what we saw early in the season, especially since Francona moved it back-to-back with it, De La Cruz in the top of the order, and then this fella Sal Stewart, this is where the Reds put money on the board. Because if you get Ellie on, this guy's usually driving him in.
325 with men in scoring position. That's where 78 of his 96 ribbies have come.
A unique ability to rise to the occasion that doesn't show up in any data points.
Decent lead for De La Cruz. Soroka home. There is that slurve you're talking about.
And that's where Soroka goes when he gets himself in a bit of a bind.
Uses the slurve a lot. Gets more Ks on the slurve than any other pitcher. signed a one-year deal with Arizona, longtime Atlanta Brave, also had time with the White Sox, Nationals, and Cubs.
But historically, Soroka has just really had a difficult time staying healthy, regardless of where he's been.
He's a big dude, 6'5", 260, just turned 29 a few weeks ago. Has time on the Canadian junior national team in his background, where his coach, who he cites as a major influence, former Cincinnati Red Chris Rietzman. Huge lead for De La Cruz. That is lined and caught at third by Jose Fernandez.
Well, the Reds catch an unlucky break there. Stewart hits it right on the barrel.
J.J. Bleday 0 for 4, 3 Ks yesterday.
That's what kills left-handers, is Soroka's ability to backdoor that breaking ball early. It's a strike. It's a called strike, and then he'll bury it down and in late.
De La Cruz flinched, now gets looked back. He, throughout the last couple of ABs, has taken as large a lead off second as I can recall. Curious to see if they would run a pick play, which has its own inherent danger if a throw gets away. Backdoor miss.
Well, Fernandez at third base is keeping a keen eye out on De La Cruz all the way up until the pitch heads to the plate. If you're a third baseman, you sure don't want to get flat-footed with Ellie trying to make a steal to third base.
That's a hot shot by Tim Tawa. Easy jog around third. De La Cruz scores. Bleday peeking at right. Shuts it down at second. And skipped by Tawa, and the Reds on the board. They have a 1-0 lead.
I don't know if Tawa didn't pick this up or if he just wanted to wave at it as it went by, because that's exactly what he did. You turn your body and just wave at it. There's nobody behind you, partner. Reds say thank you very much.
A double for Bleday. Now Tyler Stevenson. Last saw him Thursday, was 0 for 4 in the finale against the Cardinals. Did work a walk. Tough sinker strike. You talked about the sinker next to the slurve. That's probably his second best pitch.
Yeah, that's really where Soroka tries to pitch. Run the fastball in on you, start the slurve in that same spot, and let it break away. But any starting pitcher, John, and we talk about this a lot, they are at their most vulnerable point in the first inning and in the sixth inning, because they're fatigued in the sixth. You've got the transition to the bullpen, and they're trying to find their release point and get their comfortability on the mound in the first inning.
Strikes out Stevenson. And that's particularly true with Soroka. His highest ERA by far is the first inning. He entered with a nearly 5.5 in first innings.
So we've got two pitchers on the mound tonight that struggle in the first inning. Both Soroka for the Diamondbacks and also our own Rhett Lauder.
Eugenio Suarez got a nice roar again, standing in. Gino walked twice, was 0 for 2 yesterday. Diamondbacks are a team he's historically hit very well. Second highest average in OPS. One of the things Soroka has been great at this year, he's on pace to set a new career best, topping his lone All-Star year, He's one of the best in the game at limiting home runs. How does he achieve that?
I think a lot of it is just his ability to throw his breaking ball at any time. He stays out of fastball counts. Well, let's say this. He stays out of fastball counts throwing a fastball. He's throwing a different pitch in a 2-0, 3-1 count, and it's usually that slurve, and he can usually land it.
Chop to third, Fernandez. A pair of doubles for the Reds create a run. De La Cruz set the tone. Ellie getting it done in the leadoff spot. Rhett Lauder gets the ball here on Reds TV. Diamondbacks lineup. Lars Nootbaar sat the last three with lefties going for the opponent. He was a trade add at the deadline. Carroll, Moreno, Perdomo, all dangerous, all had their moments yesterday. Arenado, Tawa, Vargas nestled in the lower third where he more often is against righties, Fernandez and Waldschmidt. And our PNC Bank storylines, Cowboy, you think be ready for early swings?
I think the Diamondbacks are going to be aggressive. I think they're going to try to ambush Lauder early because he is a strike thrower. And if that's the case, then you've just got to keep the ball at the bottom of the zone, let him hit it into the ground, trust your defense to make a play.
Strike one to Lars Nootbaar, 1-0. Reds have the lead. Nootbaar goes opposite gap. Leday can't get there. Want to hop to the wall. Nootbaar into second standing. A longtime foe from his Cardinal days. The equalizer immediately in scoring position with early swings.
Diamondbacks we watched last night. They were steadily trying to hit the ball up the middle and the other way. Nootbaar falls right into that category, hitting the ball into the left center field gap from the left side. They like to be aggressive, they like to ambush, and they like to get after it.
First pitch, line to first base. I think Cowboy called it. First couple of batters need only a handful of pitches, and both make solid contact. One out.
It's different, John, when you haven't seen a pitcher like Rhett Lauder, so you take a few pitches early in the ball game to kind of figure out what he's about. They've already faced Lauder this year. They know he throws strikes. If he's throwing strikes, they want to swing, and they are going to swing.
Gabriel Moreno, a couple of hits, a ribby yesterday. He rides a 14-game hit streak, the top active in the big leagues. In that time, hitting .373. A ribby a game, almost an extra base hit a game in that time. 0-1. It is 1-0 Reds first inning. Man at second base, one out. Apologies, some issues with the score bug. We are working on it. Lauder pitching with pace, 1-1. Big lead for Nootbaar. 1 ball to 2 strikes. Grounded to Stewart, knocks it down. Lauder there to cover. Stewart takes it himself. Nootbaar claims third. 2 down.
As a first baseman, no matter how hard the ball is hit, if you stay in front of it, you've got an opportunity for an out anytime because the bag is only about 5 feet away from you. If you turn your body, as we saw in the top of the first inning, and you try to catch it off to the side, ball gets by you, you've got no chance for an out.
Geraldo Perdomo. Perdomo 3 hits in yesterday's opener, a ribby double, scored twice. It's 1-0 Reds. Diamondbacks man at third. There we go. Hello, old friend. Man, we are seeing swings galore from the Diamondbacks in this opening inning.
Well, and you can also see where Lauder is at in the strike zone. He's up around mid-thigh right now. For a sinker ball pitcher, you've got to be down at the knees and let the ball sink under. That pitch up there is going to get hit.
Lauder last saw the hill game 2 of Monday's doubleheader against the Cardinals. 4 runs in a season high and career high tying 6 2/3. A lot of base runners. 8 hits, couple of walks. Lifted to left. Bleday fading back.
Good pitch.
And the changeup gets the 3rd out. Nootbaar stranded 90 feet away. 1-0 Redlegs.
Thinking now.
Diamondback defense, Nootbaar, Waldschmidt, Carroll. Infield of Fernandez, Perdomo, Vargas, Tawa, and Moreno, one of the best backstops in the game. Matt McLean leads it off, fouls back, strike 1. McLean 0 for 4 yesterday. Did have one taken away on a nice sliding grab after a so-so read by Ryan Waldschmidt. Fernandez backed up at 3rd. Cutter landed for a strike.
Comes the slurve.
Soroka's been ahead a lot. 0-2. Cowboy called it.
And I thought that Matt did a good job in that at bat, even though he struck out. You're trying to get that first fastball, and against Soroka, that's what you're after. He may throw a fastball to try to get ahead, and that's your best chance to ambush early, because when you get behind in the count, he's throwing that viper.
That's his 2nd strikeout tonight. Dane Myers, base hit and a walk yesterday. Now, Soroka's stingy in several regards, even more pronounced this year. So he's on pace for the lowest home run rate of his career. He's got the 4th lowest home run rate in baseball among men at his innings. Myers sails this one shallow center. Waldschmidt coming on. And he also is on pace to have the lowest walk rate of his career. He's just outside the top 5 in the National League. So he throws a lot of strikes, but he limits power.
And part of that is getting ahead with either the fastball or the cutter and using that put away pitch, the slurve as he calls it, late in the count. And it's a good one. It's got some bite and it's got depth. And it starts in a spot that more times than not you don't want to swing at that.
ABS. Powered by T-Mobile.
Early loss for the Diamondbacks.
A well high ball.
Pitch is a ball. Arizona has 1 challenge remaining.
Hector Rodriguez on Thursday had a base hit, scored a run. Way in and got it.
Cutter, and he just pulled that all the way across the plate.
He put almost no weight on that left foot, and now in visible pain as Tomas Vera, athletic trainer, jogs out. Now Soroka can hit a batter. He led the league with 15 bruised batters last year in front of both Brady Singer and Nick Lodolo, who were also in the top 3. That's right on the knee.
Inside of the back left knee. It's one of those places where when you get hit, it makes your foot feel like it goes numb.
Last year he hit a man 15 times. That's just his 6th hit batter this year. Rodriguez gets some running in. I'd imagine, Cowboy, with Michael Toglia banged up, He is obviously not in the lineup today. Suffered the shoulder dislocation. They're awaiting imaging to come on Monday in San Francisco, or back in Cincinnati, I should say. That Rodriguez should get some more regular playing time. Ke'Bryan Hayes.
Well, I would say at this point, if you're the Reds, you're trying to see what are some of these minor league guys that we think maybe can help us in the future. Can they play up here? I know that this is not a tryout level by any stretch of the imagination.
But Rodriguez is one of their highly thought of prospects internally and externally. Had a great run at AAA this year, breakout season. And I would think even against left-handed pitching, are you an everyday guy or not? The only way you can find out is let him
run
play.
him out there and see if he can do it. This game is not only about the physical capabilities of a player, but it's also, do you believe you can do it, whether you're a pitcher or a hitter? And if you're on a good run and you're in AAA or in AA for some instances, I think that's the time you give them a shot. If they're playing above and beyond the rest of the league, then they're in a spot mentally that they feel like they can play. They're ready. Now they may get here and fall right on their face, but at least they'll know what they have to work on when they go back. And some guys may never make it back.
And Hector Rodriguez, for what it's worth, 22 years old. He has firm self-belief in his offense. Chat with Hector, he'll tell you he did a lot of work on his defense. He knew that needed to improve. His hitting's not there yet.
Well,
but he says, I believe I will hit.
I'll also say this, John. You can't run this same unit offensively back out there going into next year. You've got to make some changes, some big changes. So you'd like to know what you have an idea about what kind of temperament that they have. Can they handle playing at the big league level? And you only know if they're here.
Well, now with 2 outs, Rodriguez will be off. Tawa remains near the bag. Rodriguez goes, and the pitch fouled away. Long AB for Hayes, who's had better at bats these last couple of weeks.
And we don't have the benefit anymore, John, of allowing 6 or 7 guys to come to the big leagues from AAA or AA, and let's just, sometimes it's a reward, sometimes it's getting some playing time and see what they can do. We don't have that availability anymore. You get 2 guys.
Rodriguez goes, another foul.
But I would also say, if you get into September and you realize, you know what, there are 3, 4, 5 guys I know for a fact I'm not going to have back here next year, I'm all about giving the younger guys a chance and see what they can do. They might surprise you.
Rodriguez off. Called strike 3, helmet tap, ABS, powered by T-Mobile. Soroka seems to know that was a miss. He's asking for the ball and going back to the mound. And the Diamondbacks lost a challenge in this inning. Now the inning continues after a challenge won by Hayes. And the Reds have 2 on for Elly De La Cruz. Visit time for Soroka.
Now that was a pitch from Soroka where he was trying to bring it back to the plate, and it just stayed straight and true off the outside corner.
A 10-pitch walk drawn by Ke'Bryan Hayes.
And I think this meeting on the mound is as much about allowing Soroka to take a little bit of a breather after that extended at bat. But it's also about the fact that you've got 2 outs here and you've got the leadoff hitter De La Cruz at the plate. Let's don't make the same mistake that we made to him the first time, because if Ellie hits a double down the right field line again, Reds are going to have to party.
Pitching coach Brian Kaplan back to the dugout. Ellie had trouble with Soroka before that double, had been 0 for 6 against him.
Because in those at bats where he was 0 for 6, he was taking too many pitches and letting him get to that breaking ball.
A big opportunity here. Up a run, 2 on, 2 out. Big swing at a breaking ball.
And this is what Soroka goes to when he gets in trouble. We talked about in the first inning, and you're going to see it throughout the ball game in his time on the mound. A little bit of trouble. Here comes a hammer.
Now, you mentioned Soroka and the injury woes. A couple of months missed with the glute and hip issues this year. Injuries have followed him his whole career.
Yeah, shoulder. I don't know that he's ever had a full season in the big leagues healthy.
He had a shoulder his first year in 18 that spilled into 19. He tore his Achilles in 20 and then had a second Achilles surgery when the first and the rehab did not take, and that cost him a couple of years. Oh-2. First heater.
That is nothing but a show me. That's just a pitch up around the eyes where you can watch the velocity and then come right back with that hook. He's had 2 bad looks from De La Cruz on the first 2 hooks.
Check swing, no go.
Good job by Ellie to hold up. That's the best breaking ball in this at bat that Soroka has thrown.
Softly taps Soroka.
5 pitches, 4 curveballs. The one was just show me.
Reds defense from Tri-Health. Blade, Myers, Rodriguez work the turf outfield. Hayes, De La Cruz, McLean, Seward, and Stevenson. Nolan Arenado, ribby hit in the 8th yesterday. 8 of their 9 had knocks in the game. On the edge strike, shake of the head by Arenado. Even though he's been battling abdominal issues, the power's been up for Arenado. Last 8 games, 10 knocked in, 3 home runs.
It's amazing when you don't try to swing so hard and you just try to make the barrel get to the baseball, what you can do.
You hear that so often in all of sport. It happens in football and basketball.
And that's because we play against the machine. Players look at how hard did this guy hit the ball? How hard did, well, I know I can hit it harder than he can. And your success suffers because of it.
Bounce to third on a low bounce. Ground ball out.
Just be you.
And you also hear athletes talk often about body awareness, that some form of injury creates this hypersensitivity to everything that's happening, and for some that helps them focus and achieve at a higher level.
It's kind of like throwing in the bullpen and you got nothing, and you go out into the ball game and you throw 6 innings, 7 innings of shutout baseball, just making sure that you hit the edges and you don't try to overthrow, because you know it's not in there. Sometimes less is more.
Tim Tawa, soft bouncer foul. He had a couple of hits yesterday. RBI double, a walk. Also was robbed by Matt McLean. That was a very nice play in the third inning. He plays up the middle here. We're seeing a decent mix of the curveball from Lauder first time through. It's a pitch he only introduced a few weeks ago. And he's shown an ability and a willingness to throw it right on right. And that's something that stands out with Soroka, who uses that slurve so much and uses it to righties and lefties at nearly equal rates.
And part of that is the ability to throw it on both sides of the play. He can backdoor it to lefties and not have to change a whole lot mentally of how he's letting the ball go.
That's fought in center field, base hit.
This fastball is on the inside corner, but it's up. It's got some arm side run to it, but it's up around the top part of the shoulder of catcher Tyler Stevenson. That's the difference between getting a jam shot ball into center field, and if the ball's down, you have a ground ball to the shortstop.
Ildemaro Vargas. Now, something we saw early and often yesterday, the Diamondbacks ran a lot on Nick Lodolo. They had 4 steals, all on Lodolo. Dave McKay is a master at reading pitchers.
Well, if you watch Rhett Lauder, he doesn't look over his left shoulder to see where the runner is at first. He looks over his right shoulder. So think about the small amount of time that it takes for you to look over your right shoulder, turn, look back to the plate, and then go. That's a small amount of time. It's a split-second amount of time, but it also gives the runner a jump, because as soon as you turn, he's gone. And the best way to shut that down so that you can fool them over there is you snap your head back to the plate and you don't go. You pause just for a split second and then you pitch.
Line to McLean, fire to first, safe. Tawa just able to get back in time and avoid a double play.
See, Matty did a good job of catching that ball and going into double play turn mode. He caught it almost with his throwing hand heading up to the glove at the same time and had a chance to get the double play. Tawa back quickly.
Jose Fernandez, he got aboard 3 times yesterday. Top of the zone strike. Singled once, walked twice, scored a run. The one time he was retired, he lined out to Ellie De La Cruz's face. For the most part, Lauder's been getting ahead.
I like this kid for the Diamondbacks. I know he's just gotten back up here. There really hasn't been a place for him to play, but with the travails of one Ketel Marte, he's in the big leagues and he's getting an opportunity.
Versatile defender. We've seen him bounce around already in a game plus on the series.
Got a great arm.
Yep.
Great arm. He's fast.
He made major noise when he was viewed as a temporary fill-in start of the year. Last day of March, went deep twice in his debut against the Tigers. The last one was a go-ahead game winner off Kenley Jansen. Bouncer. Nice leaping grab by Lauder.
Boy.
Athleticism on display, takes it away. 1-0 Reds.
It's Toyota's now.
Reds lead it 1-0. Good sized crowd here at Chase Field and a lot of Reds fans. Sal Stewart lined out to third his first time. Strike one. Off the end of the bat, shallow center. Waldschmidt can't get there, falls in, base hit Stewart.
Boy, isn't that just how baseball works? You had an absolute screamer with a runner at second base, and it's caught by the third baseman, and you go back to the dugout. You hit one off the end of the bat, it's just a little pop-up flare into center, but it's in no man's land, and you get a hit. And don't think for a second they all even out, because they don't.
J.J. Bleday, I think a quick glance at batting averages throughout the sport would confirm that. They're down dramatically. J.J. Bleday, RBI doubled his first time. Stewart can scoot a bit. He's one of 3 Reds with double-digit steals. 1-1. I know it's only Soroka's third start off the IL, but based on his season-long numbers, velocity's down a lot on everything. It's down about a mile an hour on the fastball. Check swing, he went.
The bite on that thing is not down. It is still biting, and it is still creating havoc for hitters.
Yesterday, Bleday multiple times saw changeups down and in. Not many teams have done that against him. There were enough of them, it seemed to be intentional.
And I think part of that is because it was a lefty on lefty matchup, and that changeup for Rodriguez is best to the arm side. It's got more movement and more downward action. And I think he's just throwing it, starting it middle in and letting it come off the plate. If you hit it, you pull it foul anyway. It's kind of like a right-hander that throws a great split finger down and away to left-handers constantly. And you say, well, why don't you throw that to righties? Well, he can't throw it down and away because it cuts. So he just throws it on the inside part of the plate. And when they hit it, they pull it foul.
Bleday has had a career year in power, but it's been dormant a bit. Only 1 home run since the end of July. Well hit to right center field. That gets all the way to the wall. Stewart given the go around third. He races home. Bleday digging for 3. Relay to third offline.
Nice.
RBI triple for J.J. Bleday. 2-0 Reds.
Triple and a double today by Bleday. Stewart scoring all the way from first base. And this is a pitch that's out over the plate. That's a pitch that Bleday has had some trouble with. He squares this one and he drives it well away from the center fielder Waldschmidt to the deepest part of the ballpark.
It's Bleday's second triple as a Red, the 8th of his career. Infield halfway in for Tyler Stevenson. Stevenson struck out swinging his first time. Center field. Waldschmidt's got it. Tag at third. Bleday coming on. Bobble on the cut. Sac fly RBI. 3-0 Reds.
That's one of those swings from Tyler Stevenson that broke the norm for the Reds. The Reds have struggled so much this year trying to get the runner home from third base with less than 2 outs. That gets the job done. Nice job, Tyler Stevenson.
His 299th RBI. Now strike one at Eugenio Suarez, who has grounded out to third. Appeal. He wins. Entering tonight, there had only been 3 starts on the season where an opponent got 3 or more runs against Soroka. He got blown up by the Brewers in Milwaukee last day of April. A lot of pitchers have. Gave up 10 hits, 8 runs, only went 3 innings. He's otherwise had an ERA barely above 2. He hardly ever allows even this many runs.
Yeah, I think there's a major advantage for Soroka the first time that he faces any club because of the effectiveness of that pitch there, that slurve. He can throw it on both sides of the plate, and he can manipulate the movement of that pitch. But once you know that that's his predominant pitch, you start to become much more aggressive on the first pitch of the at-bat, and then you have a chance to kind of look for it late. Doesn't mean you can hit it, but at least you can lay off of it. Because he likes to ride that fastball at the top of the zone, and that's off the same plane where that slurve starts.
Full count. I think I have this as at least the 5th full count for the Reds. So far, the only man to reach was Hayes on that 10-pitch walk last inning.
Well, Soroka is quickly heading towards that 60-pitch mark in his 3rd inning.
And he walks Eugenio Suarez. This is a man who doesn't issue many, and the Reds have already drawn 2 plus a hit batter.
You can't survive at 20 pitches an inning, 20+ pitches an inning. You may pitch 5 innings, but you are going to feel it.
Matt McLain struck out looking his first time. He's now elevating the cutter and the fastball.
Yeah, he's getting under that cutter, trying to get around it to get it going away from the right-handed hitters, and he's just getting so far under it that it's just sailing up and away.
And McLain lives this shallow center. Vargas call and catch. Brief word now from Kia. Dane Myers, he flied to center his first time. Here's a middle cutter for a strike. So after a stretch of some erratic pitches way out of the zone that Red saw as balls the whole way, more of a grooved pitch. He does not look nearly the same as he did back in June in Cincinnati.
Doesn't have the ball on the plate.
It's another fatter cutter that's fouled away.
Well, what Soroka is doing is he's using the cutter instead of the fastball in fastball counts. 2-1, 1-0, 3-1. He's using the cutter there. And if you know you've got a first pitch fastball hitter, he's throwing a cutter in that spot as well.
Bit of a defensive cut there by Myers. Stays alive.
But you also see him throwing sinker, changeup in on Myers simply because Myers is traditionally known as hitting the fastball and breaking ball the other way.
Struck him out of the breaking ball. Reds get another run. Stewart and Blade go back-to-back to begin the inning. Sac fly adds another.
They're sweet. I like the WF on there, a little addition from my college days, but no, I think they're awesome with the different colors and the red main theme, but I really like them.
The kicks on Players Weekend. Kind thanks to the kids at Cincinnati Children's participating in the painting, the colorization of the gear of a lot of these Reds, including Rhett Lauder. First pitch strike to 7 of 8 he has faced. Bunt yank back. Ball 1 to Ryan Walshman. RBI double last night, also worked to walk and got picked off by Julian Garcia in the 5th. Two and one. Sinker fought foul. Grounded to third. Hayes. Most of the outs for Lauder so far have come on the infield. One down. Lars Nootbaar doubled to the opposite gap his first time. Got stranded at third base. Diamondbacks picked him up on the 3rd of the month from St. Louis. Gave away 2 of their top 25 prospects. 1 was in their top 5 and a player to be named later. Nootbaar sends this to center. Myers the call. It brings up Corbin Carroll, who drove in the only run that Lauder surrendered when he saw the Diamondbacks back in June. That was a first inning homer. Today he saw 1 pitch and lined out in the first inning. That was handled by Sal Stewart.
Breaking ball middle. Lauder's in a pretty good groove right now.
Hayes. Another out handled by a Reds infielder. 1-2-3 for Lauder. You're watching Reds TV, presented by PNC Bank.
Elk and Elk injury report for tonight. That is Spencer Steer, who saw the hand wrist specialist here in Phoenix. He'll be reevaluated in 3 weeks. He's allowed to start running, doing physical activities, range of motion, stuff like that. He's in a different splint, but he's not cleared to do baseball activities. And October 1st would be the drop dead date, he tried to say, in which they decide on surgery. They're trying to avoid surgery at all costs. They're just hoping they can get him into the offseason and have a clean offseason, because this type of surgery has affected players in the wrong way, and it's even ended careers. So surgery, they hope, is the last option. So they're trying to get him to October 1st.
Hey, a really good fella. He has helped the Reds in a lot of different ways, and you just pull for a kid like that, because that's a tough circumstance that he's in. You don't think of an injury of the sheath on your wrist or wherever it may be as being a possible career ender, but he's in a tough spot right now.
He and his wife just welcomed a baby girl as well. Checked by Rodriguez. Appeal no go. And Jim, it's always nice to see the smiling face of Blake Dunn, who's right alongside Steer down there.
Yeah, it's a lonely existence when you're rehabbing out here in the Phoenix area. In this case, Goodyear at the complex. But there's been a few players that have come through. In fact, Tito knew it because they ordered extra food into the clubhouse. That was his indicator. But has a locker set up this weekend, getting reevaluated, and just gives those guys that are rehabbing a chance to just kind of be around everyone, because at that Goodyear complex, man, it can be a lonely rehab.
Well, rehab, no matter what it is brutal. It is, you feel like you're not even part of a team. You're just kind of out on an island somewhere. And you feel like when you do walk into the locker room, you don't really know if you should say, hey, how you doing, or you just kind of just show up.
Remember, we told you yesterday, Moreno, 3 pickoffs this year. He's trying to get a leaning Hector Rodriguez. That was pretty close.
I wouldn't get that far off again. Because with a normal first baseman, that tag gets down there quicker than what it did with Towel.
An old friend is getting ready. That Zach Littell warming in the Diamondback pen. Hayes lines one to center. Waldschmidt has it. So the 3 walks and counting for Soroka have tied a season high. He had only walked 3 twice before. Jim, what's the latest on Graham Ashcraft?
Ashcraft threw his live session to hitters with Louisville, and he will pitch in some rehab games now coming up. They've charted his course. It's going to be right now 3 rehab stints: Tuesday, Friday, Sunday. And if all goes well, you could see him back after that.
Tony Santillan just activated yesterday, hasn't pitched yet. Sounds like Ashcraft on the near horizon.
Yeah, you got to feel like that they may pitch Tony Santillan tonight regardless of score.
Just get him some work. Terry Francona had said before yesterday's game he thought that was possible, and it turned out to be a 9-0 loss. Smoked center field, base hit. Hard contact twice now. A couple of base hits for De La Cruz.
Got another fastball, and Soroka tried to put it up on his hands, and Ellie said, I don't think so. Made him look silly on those 3 breaking balls his last time up. Sometimes you just outsmart yourself as a pitcher. Well, I'll try a well, I shouldn't have tried that.
Huge chance for the Reds, already up 3-0. Feels like they have Soroka on the ropes, and he yanks one to Sal Stewart, who has a base hit and has come around. The major league leader with 96 RBIs, the Reds leader with 27 home runs.
And he's got some money out there on the base path.
Littell's been warming for a bit. Get the sense that if Soroka loses Stewart, they very well might make the move. There have been a lot of takes, a lot of good takes, particularly second time and now early third time through for the Reds. Soroka's pitches have been far less competitive. Chipped foul. So now with 2 strikes, this is part of where Stewart shines and how he adapts to the moment.
This is where he likes to shoot that ball the other way.
No one has more runs knocked in with 2 strikes than the Reds rookie Sal Stewart. That is ripped over third, base hit. Wave is on for Rodriguez. De La Cruz shuts it down to second. Throw in is cut. Another ribby for Sal Stewart. 4-0 Reds.
You can say all you want about, well, RBIs are just about being in that kind of circumstance. Let me tell you something, folks. That guy right there, he rises to the occasion. Runners on base, his eyes light up like a Q-beam.
For a lot of the same reasons that Yordan Alvarez is getting high praise, viewed as one of the MVP favorites in the American League. The numbers for Sal Stewart on a team that doesn't score.
Well, the thing about it too, John, is there's some players that when runners are in scoring position, they have a tendency to tighten up. Sal Stewart says, this is my moment.
And he delivers the knockout blow. Soroka is done. Reds have a 4-0 lead. They have knocked starter Michael Soroka out of the game. A run in, 2 on. J.J. Bleday due up. Old friend alert. Third game with the Diamondbacks. Skyline Chili called to the bullpen. Zach Littell.
No, you're going to get some fastballs away, and he's going to follow it with changeups, backdoor breaking ball.
First pitch through the right side, base hit. Stop sign at third for De La Cruz. Strong throw in by Corbin Carroll. Bases loaded. J.J. Bleday is a home run shy of the cycle.
What you do know with Zach Littell, for the most part, he's throwing strikes. So you got to be up there ready to hit.
Tyler Stevenson, a sac fly already, has also struck out. Conference between catcher and pitchers. Moreno strides out. Homers are a massive concern for Littell, who was a competitive pitcher as a late ad for the Reds last year, but he surrendered a ton of homers last year. He's top 5 in baseball again this year. 27 home runs given up.
You know, watching Ellie round third there and the mechanism that he had to use with his arms to try to stop, you almost think, I mean, watch him come around third here. Hold up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Maybe we should get a parachute. That way he could deploy it when it's a last minute holdup.
Think of watching the old drag racing on ESPN.
Yeah. Big Daddy Don Garlits.
A massive chance for Stevenson and the Reds. Bases juiced. And the pitch sailed to right center. Deep enough for De La Cruz. Carroll gives ground. Waldschmidt the catch. Tag at second and third. No relay. Sac fly RBI. De La Cruz scores. Stewart to third. 5-0 Reds.
Couple of sac fly RBIs almost in the same spot for Tyler Stevenson in this ball game. That's just doing a job, and a really fine job by the Reds catcher.
Well, Stevenson gets his 300th career RBI. Now, Eugenio Suarez has had a couple of nice round career numbers of his own recently. He has walked and grounded out tonight.
Suarez possesses a major home run threat against the likes of Zach Littell. Littell cannot blow it by him at the top of the zone, and we know that Suarez can absolutely clock those middle velocity pitches that are on the plate. And I would imagine now that the count is 2-0, the fella Zach Littell knows that as well.
He has an open bag at second. McLean on deck. 3-0.
And I'm saying, if you like it, Eugenio, swing at it.
Way outside, 4-pitch walk. That was saved by Moreno. Otherwise, Stewart's probably in. Now the base is loaded for McLean, who thundered a line drive grand slam in the finale against the Cardinals that propelled the Reds ahead by 1. It looked like it would be the moment of the game. Then one of the most bonkers 9th innings I've ever seen ensued, and the Reds fell 10-9.
I was reading something on Red shortstops and grand slams. They've had a few of them over the years.
He also hit the ball incredibly well for the final out of the game. Bases loaded, down a run. And he smoked a 102-mile-an-hour line drive out to Jordan Walker. Cardinals all series, all year, they played their outfield deep. It was very deep in that spot. When I spoke with Matt the other day, he said that shocked him because it's a 1-run game. Winning run is at second base.
And so he did smoke that ball.
Three and 1, and there's nowhere to put him.
And you go back to that drive by McLean that was caught by Walker. It took every bit of his 6'5", 6'6" height to make the catch.
Called strike, full count. ABS powered by T-Mobile. We have not had a challenge RBI yet for the Reds.
Look like
it's a ball. Ribby for McLean. It's 6-0 Reds.
And then there was one.
Well, now Littell gets a visit as Dane Myers, the 9th different Red to come to the plate this inning, is about to stand in. A Red season marred by a record amount of bases loaded walks the first couple of months of the season. It's been nice to see the Reds offense work a decent number of them for themselves the last few weeks.
Well, I think the approach by the Reds early in this ball game was awfully good against the right-hander Soroka. They tried to catch that fastball early. They seemed like they were, for the most part, laying off that slurve, and they ran him out of the ball game. And they've been awfully patient here against Zach Littell, who normally is quite the strike thrower.
Myers has flied to center. He is struck out. First pitch bashes a foul. So close the book on Soroka. 3 1/3. 6 hits, 6 runs, the second most he's allowed all year. 3 walks tied a season high, 3 strikeouts. Time for Myers.
Normally this would be the count that you would see a split finger from Zach Littell. There it is.
Splitter. Cowboy called it. I like that sound. I tell you this all the time, your ability to see things the moment before it happens, your prep and your feel. I love it.
It's that New Orleans voodoo doll I got sitting at the house.
Give out lottery numbers?
No, wouldn't.
No? Okay.
Oh, Jimmy.
He did see you by the pool in the future. You could help that one come true.
Not by the pool. I saw him in the pool in the future.
Can we cue up the sound effect?
You did agree to get in the lifeguard stand, though, right? Isn't that where we left it?
Get in that one.
I should have just kept my mouth shut.
Get in that one that's bubbly, Jim.
Oh.
I wonder if they serve biscuits and gravy out there by that thing.
Well, day game tomorrow. You're going national tomorrow. You're going to be part of the Peacock broadcast.
Yes, I will.
It's going to be an early day. Myers, hard ground ball to second. Another big inning for the Reds. They played 3. They chased Soroka. 6-0 Cincinnati. 6-0 Reds. 2-hitter in progress for Red Lauder, subject of tonight's Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. He can chameleon his primary pitch.
Well, I think that's adaptability with what you have on a given night. And every pitcher has something different working on a given night out of the 30+ starts that you'll make during the year. And it's up to you to be able to use that accordingly. If your fastball location is off, you still use your fastball. You just don't get beat with the fastball.
Lauder just sat for a long time. Big inning plus a pitching change, and he hits Moreno.
I just think that missed him.
Just pushed him off the plate. 2-0.
That was the old two-seamer that just sailed.
Ricocheted off the glove.
I don't know how it didn't hit him, but it was close.
And Moreno is grounded out to first base. Lauder's allowed 2 hits. A leadoff double by Lars Nootbaar began the game for Lauder. A 1-out single by Tim Tawa in the second. This one driven pretty deep right center. Myers has it. 1 away.
You know, we talked early, John, about the Diamondbacks coming out aggressively, and they did. But what Lauder did at that point in time is he felt the Diamondbacks coming after him hard. So he began to run that two-seamer in on the plate. He started to get some early outs. Sometimes you just have to you read the room, and if you can do that, you can have some fun.
Backdoor breaker just misses to Perdomo. He is flied to left. You have an ABS challenge. If you don't like it, challenge. Overwhelmingly fastballs for Lauder. Stewart.
And I think that's part of where Louder's game plan is now. It's a 6-0 ball game. Reds are on top. He's got a commanding lead in the game. You get ahead with the heater. You speed the bat up. You try to get them to start looking fastball early in the count, and then you put the changeup on them.
Nolan Arenado is grounded out to short. I feel like when I think of Louder's first taste of the bigs in 24, the changeup stood out to me the most. This year, if there's any one pitch, it's probably been the slider that's been the best version of Louder. Do you see that? How do you see that feel with each pitch kind of game to game?
Well, what I like is the graphic that we put up, and I think you described it as chameleon, because I think that is a pitcher's pitcher. And you come out of the bullpen, different ball games. Some days you feel like you're throwing really hard or you're locating well, and then there are other days you feel like, wow, my changeup's coming out of my hand great, or this breaking ball's breaking good, and you make that your top pitch. And what it does for you is it creates an air of unpredictability, and that's what you want as a pitcher. Don't be predictable.
Two-two. Well hit to left field. That's a rainbow homer that rattles the Diamondback bullpen, spoils the shutout. 21 for Arenado. It's 6-1.
That is the pitch that Arenado has hit forever. It's the breaking ball that gets on the outside part of the plate. It's just below the belt, and he has the unique ability to lean out there and hook it out of the ballpark. He gets great elevation on this pitch.
How many times, particularly with the Cardinals, both at Busch and a Great American Ballpark, as he had balls down the line to true left or left center against the Reds. Comebacker back to Louder.
With the group.
Live the dream, play like a pro at Reds Fantasy Camp Daytona edition. Step into the beautifully renovated historic Jackie Robinson Ballpark. 4 unforgettable days immersed in baseball. RedsMuseum.org/Daytona Camp. Strike one at Hector Rodriguez, who's been on twice, hit by pitch, a walk. He has scored a run. Lifted to left, Newt Barr. Brief word now from Big Sandy Superstore.
This summer, sleep cooler for less at Big Sandy Superstore. Your headquarters for luxury mattresses. Big Sandy Superstore.
Ke'Bryan Hayes has walked. He is lined to center. Sailed to right. Corbin Carroll. Ellie De La Cruz, couple of hits, a double, a single, has scored twice. Tonight, Ellie's second multi-hit game in August. Crushed. A towering blast down the right field line. Wow! He destroyed it. A monster moonshot by De La Cruz. That's one of the most gargantuan homers of the Reds' year. 450 feet.
That's when you see somebody get every bit of it and then some.
There's an undertone of boos, but there were audible gasps. I mean, that's a shot that stuns in batting practice, much less in a game. Now De La Cruz is a triple shy of the cycle in one of the more triple-friendly ballparks, and J.J. Bleday is a home run shy of the cycle, while the Reds are blowing out the Diamondbacks. Stewart to short, handled cleanly by Perdomo. A warm embrace. Man who's had a lot of homers in his career, Eugenio Suarez, saying, job well done. That was a golf shot off the back tips. The driver for Ellie.
At Subway.
Cincinnati Reds baseball is presented by Jake Sweeney Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. By State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Bet365, where winning is everything. 450 feet. That's the StatCast estimate. A devastated homer. The dugout, part joy, part disbelief at the majesty of that monster shot.
It's just one of those swings that when you hit it, you don't even know that. You don't even feel it come off the bat. It's just pure sweetness.
Speaking of disbelief, when I told the dugout, or a few of them, that it was 450, they're like, way longer than that. At least in their mind. Ones down the line I know are tough.
That dude has incredible power. Down and away to Ildemaro Vargas, who is lined out to second. And overall, beyond long homer, it's a 3-hit night for De La Cruz.
Exactly. I think that is more important than anything, is that Ellie is getting back on the positive side of a hot streak. Had a little bit of a lull there.
Four-pitch walk. That's the first free pass issued by Lauder tonight.
It's the first time Ildemaro Vargas has walked in quite some time.
He's aboard for Jose Fernandez, who has bounced back to the pitcher Lauder. Two. Fought flare and falls in right. Fernandez can play.
I like it. Takes a good at bat. Ball right in on his hands. You could really see him alligator arm it, pull the hands in, drive the knob of the bat towards his chest, and just get enough of the bat on the ball to flip it into right field.
So now Walshman, who had squared to bunt first pitch his first time, pulled it back. He is grounded out in the game. Uppercuts a foul. Stevenson and Stewart converge. Into the well. By the way, congrats to first rounder Justin LeBron. Just homered again, Cowboy. He's got 5.
Homer a day, put Chattanooga in play.
I like that. That's part of the balanced diet of baseball. Center field, Myers. Deep gap, called and catch. Tag at second, throw in cut by McLean. Vargas takes third, 1 out.
I think anytime that you have a draft pick, you want to put him in a spot where he has, ideally you'd like for him to have immediate success. You don't want to put him in a spot where he just totally dominates the league, but there has to be a little bit of competition, but you want him to have success. You want him to come into the organization where his first foray for LeBron into the Reds is a positive one.
Roll to second. McLean feeds Ellie. Relay. Not in time. Run scores. Vargas home at 7-2. Newt RBI of the fielder's choice, 4-6. And now Corbin Carroll. There's a lot of baseball to go. Reds have a comfortable lead, but this is a capable Diamondback offense. And this is where the real dangerous hitters are. I know there are 2 outs, but take nothing for granted. Carroll is lined to first. He is popped to third. For LeBron, by the way, it's now a week and a half into his pro career. He's got 2 more hits tonight, including that homer. He's hitting .341.
That's what you want. I mean, if you're the Reds front office, you want him to hit the ground running.
Just low. ABS seemed hesitant from Stevenson. Powered by T-Mobile that looked to be down. He's trying to win a strike against Carroll. Reds lose the challenge.
The ball to third, 1 remaining.
Softly served, left field, base hit. Newt to second.
Most left-handed hitters, as you deepen into the count, you can get them out with off-speed away. For a guy like Corbin Carroll, who has that unique ability to flatten the bat on the outside, look at that swing. I mean, that is ridiculous. That bat is parallel with the ground. He's way out in front, his body is contorted, but the hands are back, and he just flows the bat parallel with the ground and squares it up.
It's now a dangerous man, the Diamondbacks' hottest hitter. He entered riding the best active hit streak in the game, the best on base streak in the game. He has not reached yet tonight. Moreno is grounded out. He is fly to deep right center.
Don't let the crowd dictate the moment. You, Rhett Lauder, dictate the moment. You have a 7-2 lead.
0-1.
You can't let the crowd start to affect how you think about what you're doing on the mound and how you feel about what you're doing on the mound. You hear managers talk about all the time. The game kind of sped up on him a little bit. That's what I'm talking about. You stay in your own bubble. You make your pitch.
Strike one.
And that's not a physical adjustment or mechanical, any of those things. It is a mental adjustment.
Moreno hopped awkwardly after fighting that foul. Time for Moreno. Diamondbacks had not seen Lauder all that much, but the only Diamondback who entered with multiple hits off Lauder was Moreno. Full count. The walk began the inning, the only one Lauder has issued. Vargas scored. Runners go. Got him looking. Strike three.
Nice fastball right over the inside corner. It is down and it is right on the edge. Money.
With a new Toyota.
J.J. Bleday has tied his Reds high with 3 of the Reds' 8 hits. Our greater Cincinnati Honda dealers' drive of the game. He's gone double, triple. Each drove in a run and a single. So in a year that has seen him tie his career high with 20 homers, he has won since the month of July. He is a home run short of the cycle. That is rare territory for the Reds. Elly De La Cruz is a triple shy of the cycle. And on the mound, the former Red, who has been a home run machine for several years, he's already allowed a moonshot to De La Cruz, Zach Littell. First pitch, deep right. And gone! A cycle for J.J. Bleday.
How about that? You don't think that was on his mind? Man, he has smoked that ball.
A franchise that went without a cycle for over 3 decades has its second in the last 3 years. De La Cruz did it against the Braves June of 23. J.J. Bleday here and now. He sets a new outright career high. His 21st homer is the capper on a cycle. And by the way, there has never been a game with 2 cycles. Bleday has one now. It's the 6th inning. De La Cruz needs a triple.
And playing in a ballpark that gives up triples.
Oh, Stevenson drives this to the gap in left center. That gets all the way to the wall. The catcher sprinting up to second base. He'll take his double.
If Ellie hits the ball towards one of those 413 signs, it is a triple.
Cycle watch.
Boy, how great is this for J.J. Bleday? He has been scuffling lately, and boy, did he have some tattooed balls.
Eugenio Suarez has been aboard twice with a walk. He's also grounded out. Now, the Reds got blown out 9-0 last night, but they are running roughshod of the Diamondbacks, leading 8-2 this evening. The entire dugout erupted as that ball cleared the yellow line in right field. On the first pitch he saw. That one hung a bit, but it's popped to shallow right. Vargas.
I would imagine for J.J. Bleday hitting the home run to clinch the cycle, he probably felt like he was running on clouds around the base paths.
And to simultaneously set a new career high. You know, the round numbers, you talk about it, and they do. They have their value for everybody. But setting new milestones for yourself, underscoring that this is a career year for J.J. Bleday, that has its own weight, and they both came on one swing.
Gaining confidence, getting better.
Are you cueing an 80s montage? Bleday in the mountains?
If you want to survive up here, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse.
McLean walked with the bases loaded. That was on an ABS challenge. He was called out on a payoff. Won the challenge for a ribby. He's also struck out, popped out.
Tell you what I like about the Reds offense here tonight is they not only scored 3 runs in the first 3 innings, but they've continued to put up numbers as they've progressed here in the ball game. They haven't let their foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, they've scored in every inning but one. Swing and miss. That's where it feels very similar to last night, but just roles reversed. Now Dane Myers, who has flied out, struck out, grounded out. What is it about Littell, who last year did a very nice job of making sure many of the homers were solo shots? But what makes him so home run prone? He allows a lot of volume homers.
Well, he throws a lot of strikes, and he's throwing 90-91, and there's not a whole lot of movement on the fastball.
Oh, there is the Bleday bomb. That's a ball that can have a lot of stories in it. Bounce to third. Historic homer for J.J. Bleday. Sets a career high, caps a rare cycle, thunders a larger lead for his Reds. Join the Reds Saturday, September 5th. They take on the Brewers. Fans in attendance get an Ellie De La Cruz City Connect 2.0, the Red Threads bobble, thanks to St. Elizabeth Healthcare. While supplies last, reds.com/tickets. Ellie, a 450-foot homer. Bunt never fully squared. Strike one on Geraldo Perdomo, who is flied out, grounded out.
This is where if you're Rhett Lauder, you just forget about what's on the board as far as the score is concerned and just keep making pitches one after another.
So you said before the game it was critical for Lauder, not just tonight, all nights, to have that ball with downward action, lower portion of or below the zone. What have you seen in his location tonight?
Most of his location has been right on the inside or outside edges. I think what he's done here tonight is he's mixed up very well the two-seam, four-seam combination, because he's gotten some foul balls that have been in the middle of the plate, but they've come on the four-seamer that surprised some of these hitters. I would suggest that he's pitched inside more tonight, and that's freed up the outside corner for both the breaking ball and the changeup.
One, two. And to that point, there is a curveball that he tried to backdoor. When he's missed on that soft backdoor, it's often been pretty marginal. He's nearly had a couple of strikeouts tonight there. It's rolled to second. Tough play, McLean. Diving backhand to his feet. Got him. Oh, great play by Matt McLean.
We talk about this kid all the time. Now we get to watch him every day, but he can flat play second base. Puts himself in a good spot, and he's got good enough range and a good enough glove to get to this ball, but the arm is the separator.
Remember, he was originally a first-round pick by the Diamondbacks. Weigh in on Arenado. Before he went to UCLA, it was the Diamondbacks who made him a first-round pick.
Are they sending him to first?
Arenado went right to Mark Ripperger, seemingly saying he was hit by pitch. They had their own conversation. No catcher's interference here. Yep.
Hit the mitt.
Score an error to Tyler Stevenson. Brings up Tim Tawa, who is singled and lined out.
Well, both balls that Tawa has hit tonight, a single up the middle and then the line drive into the glove of Rhett Lauder. He's trying to stay right through the box.
Pretty well hit left field. Leday watching, gone. 8th of the year for Tawa. 2-run shot makes it a 4-run game. Luis May gets up in the Reds pen. Ildemaro Vargas, whose walk scored, lined out.
The changeup that Tawa hit out. Of course, when you're trying to stay up the middle with the fastball, you can catch those changeups and elevate them.
By the way, some official scoring housekeeping. Catcher's interference is not rare, but certainly not common. It does go as an error on the catcher. It means that run against Lauder is unearned. It does not count as an at-bat for the hitter. So Arenado is 1 for 2. Does go as an E2, and only 3 of the runs right now earned on Lauder. Bottom of the zone strike. Hayes backs up with the left-handed hitter. Retreats to essentially shortstop. Full count. Lauder at 90 pitches as May continues to work behind him. Chopper, De La Cruz back into the run, snaps it off. Stewart stayed on the bag, called out. He did break contact at one point, but was deemed to be on the bag ahead of the runner.
Well, you can see Ellie had to throw this almost from the hip sidearm, and that ball is going to have some arm side tail. But Sal able to stay on the bag and still be able to make the catch.
Jose Fernandez, first pitch pop, Stewart over. End of inning. Tawa homers, the Reds lead cut to 4.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Some magic already tonight. A cycle achieved by J.J. Bleday as he got a new outright career high in homers on the capper. Ellie De La Cruz is a triple shy of the cycle. Former Red Zach Littell misses to Hector Rodriguez.
And Ellie will be number 3 up in this inning.
In the hole right now. Hard ground ball foul.
When we looked at this ball game coming in, you figure the Reds would have their hands full with Michael Soroka, and they did an awfully good job in their game plan and in their staying with that game plan.
Oh, that is crushed deep right field. First big league homer for Hector Rodriguez. He was confident it would come, and a no-doubter that he smokes to right center. 424 feet per StatCast.
That was a bullet.
This dude can hit.
Well, what you're hoping is in a ball game like this, when you can get aboard a couple of times. He was hit by a pitch, he drew a walk, and then he hits his first major league home run. You hope this is a steadying force for him as he moves forward.
Popped foul. Tawa.
Let the triple watch begin.
Here comes De La Cruz, 29 career triples. He has 5 this year. He's hitting in a triples paradise that is Chase Field.
Just get it in the gap and go.
First pitch, center field, down for a hit. 4-hit night will do. He's got that.
Of course, the way the Reds are going, Ellie might get another at bat here before it's all said and done.
And ties his season high in hits. He had 4 in Colorado. First series out of the All-Star break. Also ties his career high. He has never had a 5-hit game. Sal Stewart, a couple of hits, a ribby. He has come around twice. Elevated miss. Kind of feels like it's been feast or famine for the Reds offense this year. They've had their share of 2 runs or less, and it's not an outlier. They have their share of some big time offensive games. Swung through. Well, Littell has given his team 3 innings in relief, and the Reds have tagged him with 3 homers already. Their home run leader is at the plate in Stewart. Right field, base hit. So 2 aboard for J.J. Bleday. He's got a cycle tonight. Archaea player profile. 8th Red all time to go for a cycle. First since Ellie against the Braves in 23. The first road cycle for a Red since 1915.
Well, that's a long time.
Grow, both the player and manager for the Reds in the earlier 1900s. A 2-time World Series champ. Of course, one of the members of the Reds Hall of Fame. That was so long ago, Wrigley Field was not a thing yet. It happened in the West Side grounds. On the West Side grounds. Let me go back to 1915 and figure out how they said it back then. Bleday, deep left center. Walchman way back, and he tracks it down. Nice play. Tagged by De La Cruz. Throw in, relay to second.
Boy, that was an awkward play if you're just looking at the base runners, because Ellie De La Cruz was running to second. Sal Stewart was running to second. Ellie was running back in order to tag. Sal Stewart was having to stop and go back to first base because of the catch.
I tell you, Walchman can motor. Some of these younger players on this Diamondback team have a lot of upside. And now Tyler Stevenson doubled his last time. 2 sac flies. He is 1 for 2.
Well, the sac fly won't get it here. You'll have to find some outfield grass.
Drop fly ball could do it. Appeal, no go. Not a sac fly, but looks like May is still throwing in the Reds pen, so it would appear he'll be on for Louder. Splitter just gets the bottom of the zone. 3-1. Line beyond third base hit. De La Cruz scores. These are just stung line drives by Red after Red. 10-4 Cincinnati. The loudest boos of the night echo at Chase Field.
Well, we talked about the necessity when Reds are scoring runs for Ellie De La Cruz to be on base. He's been on base 4 times tonight, drove himself in one of those times, but he has scored 4 runs. That's where everything starts as far as this Reds offense is concerned.
A miss into Eugenio Suarez, who has walked twice. It's something Terry Francona has been asked about at different times throughout this run with Ellie hitting leadoff. You know, what his takes are on how it's worked. And Francona will quickly point out that's not where he ideally would have him. The Reds had thought TJ Friedel would remain their highly productive leadoff man. That did not happen. Blake Dunn filled in pretty well for a stretch, got hurt. It's chipped. Tough play down the right field line. On the foul side, Tawa. Congratulations to 22-year-old rookie Hector Rodriguez. A laser home run, his first in the big leagues.
Have you ever?
Cincinnati Reds baseball is presented by Jake Sweeney Kia. Drive smart, spend less. And by Ray St. Clair Roofing, your trusted problem solver. Give us a call. Beautiful desert sunset way out west. Reds up 10-4. They go to their pen. Luis May is in. Strike one at Ryan Waldschmidt.
Boy, has Luis May done an absolute 180 as far as what he is doing on the mound and his ability to get people out.
Alta-fiber pitching change.
And I think that's a credit to the guys in the AAA and minor league coordinators. Talking about Brian Gorman and just how they've worked with Reed Cornelius there in AAA and changing not only Luis May. I mean, this is undeniable. His ability to throw strikes and be comfortable doing so on this stage. And I would say the same is true about Zach Maxwell. Maxwell got sent back down, but he looked like a totally different pitcher when we got him to the big leagues, even for that 1 or 2 outings that he was here.
I would agree. Both able to command their fastballs better, both quicker, tighter to the plate. And Cowboy, you've been around the game obviously for a long time, and the Reds. I struggle to come up with someone in our shared time who has had this significant an in-season transformation. Sent the other way by Nootbaar. Good charge by Blade, holds him to a single.
Well, the transition for May when he came back up, you were wondering, okay, is he going to throw strikes this time? Or is he just going to keep burying that sinker down and away from a right-hander into the dirt, overpronating time and time and time and time again? Kind of like beating a dead horse. He made the adjustment. Mechanically. And he's been an awfully good pitcher. I mean, he's been a pitcher that you count on at the end of the ballgame. The stuff is undeniable. I mean, he's a 100-mile-an-hour pitcher with sink.
I mean, the other day he got the 8th inning up 1. And I think that could create, it's 7 outings for May. Asterisk that is more than fair. But now I think you can have a real strategic conversation when Ashcraft is back, Santillan is back. Got to see how those guys do when they get back out there. That's sent the other way by Carroll. Nootbaar went through second, slammed on the brakes. Carroll went halfway.
Nice job by Dane Myers getting to that ball rapidly, got the ball in quickly, and he shut down Nootbaar at second base. I thought for sure Nootbaar was going to challenge and head to third.
Well, so did Corbin Carroll. Look where Carroll goes. Carroll was over halfway to second. He was convinced Nootbaar was going to turn. Moreno is 0 for 3 with a strikeout.
Well, these are the kinds of games where you're hoping for some growth from Luis May, because there's a little bit of adversity here. You've got some wiggle room, obviously a 10-4 ball game, but you do have a couple of runners on base, and you got to figure out, all right, how do I get out of this?
Stevenson blocks 3-1. Right-handed hitter Stewart plays way off the line, so Carroll can take a matching very large lead. Rodriguez cheats in some and right. Popped up and hangs forever. Plenty of time. Day. Brief word now from Miami Valley Gaming.
Get ready to get lucky at MVG. With over 2,200 of the best gaming machines, we got you covered.
That was a great challenge there for May, because Gabriel Moreno came into this ball game with a 14-game hitting streak. He did not have a hit going into that at bat.
Strike one on Perdomo, who's 0 for 3. Dennis Santana is up in the Diamondback pen. Time called by Perdomo.
But the more times that you can have a pitcher like May have success, have some adversity, find some success, and continue to climb that ladder, that's when you can start moving him to the back of the bullpen. The confidence just starts to exude. And all of a sudden he feels like he's Teflon. He's going to get 3 outs no matter where I'm at.
There's multiple lefties that hit the ball the other way. Perdomo definitely went. No appeal needed. And that's part of being a sinker-heavy pitcher, right? You're looking for ground balls, and sometimes they're going to find holes. Sometimes they'll be guided. Because it did seem intentional for both Nootbaar and Carroll, who were shaded defensively exactly how the Reds are playing Perdomo here. Ellie up the middle. That left side is pretty open. Struck him out.
Boy, you talk about a kid that is growing right in front of our eyes. That's him. His name is Luis May.
And a blue.
At each and every home game, if a Red hits the Toyota Hit and Win sign, one lucky fan wins a new built-in-the-USA Toyota Tundra. Register for the Tundra Home Run Challenge and your chance at any Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer. Toyota game summary. Red Lauder, 3 earnings. Ellie De La Cruz, 4 hits, triple shy of the cycle. Blade a cycle, and a new outright career high 21 home runs. New pitcher is Dennis Santana.
We've already seen him once. He pitched the 6th inning last night.
Well hit, left field, Matt McLain way back and gone again. 4 bombs by the Reds against the Diamondback pen. That's 13 for McLain, who has been largely on point these last couple of weeks.
Well, this was a hanging breaking ball that stayed up in the zone, and Matty's able to hold his hands back long enough. And he just gets the barrel there. Normally this pitch you pop up, and he just tattoos it. Well, that was a nice easy swing. Just kind of flick the wrist, gone.
And on Dane Myers, that's where Terry Francona has said he has seen McLain just be more direct to the ball. Matt has been keenly aware heaters have been the biggest issue. He's been saying it for most of the year that he can't miss them. Rolled to short by Myers. Well, now. So now Hector Rodriguez, who's been on 3 times tonight. That includes his first big league home run. He smacked that shot to right center.
Yeah, that's a growth issue as well. Once you get that, you just kind of check mark that box. You start to relax a little bit. All right, I've shown him I can hit the ball out of the ballpark at the big league level. Now I'm just going to go to hitting. They've only gotten him out 1 time tonight.
Roll to short, tough play. Perdomo snaps it off. Safe. Infield hit, Hector Rodriguez.
That's the part of Hector Rodriguez's game that nobody really sees. We don't really hear about it. We heard about awkwardness in the outfield. Throwing arm, okay. But this is getting it down the line. That's a pretty good shortstop in Perdomo. And if you're not hustling out of the batter's box, you're out.
Home to first in 4-3, his first multi-hit game of the bigs. Ke'Bryan Hayes has walked. He's 0 for 3. And on deck is Elly De La Cruz, who Jim Day is kind of caught in between with what to do with the game bat.
You talking about Bleday?
Oh, I thought it was Elly.
Oh no, it was Bleday.
Go on.
Bleday had the cycle bat authenticated, but like a pure hitter, he doesn't want to take it out of circulation. So he's going to continue using that bat until it breaks, or I don't know, maybe he goes through an over slump. But after the game, they will take every item that he is wearing and authenticate that, and that will be sent away for use wherever. For him in the future, I'm sure Reds Hall of Fame, maybe National Baseball Hall of Fame likes artifacts like that. But everything you're seeing right there is going to be authenticated, except that bat he'll keep in circulation.
Yeah, just put the sticker on it. You can have it later.
So now De La Cruz, who's got a 4-hit night, tying a career high. He is a triple shy of the cycle.
This is one of those spots for Elly where better make sure Hector Rodriguez is running, because he's not stopping.
42 triples here this year. Only Coors Field has seen more since this place opened back in 1998. Chase Field, #2, only to Coors Field, triples hit in that time. The gaps are glorious. Swung through 1-2.
Yeah, you're looking at a 407 sign to dead center field, and then you look immediately to your left and right along that wall. It goes all the way back to 413.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
I think you got it.
Catcher is challenging the pitch.
That was a tough take by Ellie with 2 strikes.
Backdoor breaking ball. I think he caught the corner.
He's out.
Pitches a strike. Arizona has 1 left.
The ultimate goal of an MLB fan, seeing it all. The MLB Journey to 30 sweepstakes presented by T-Mobile. The ultimate bucket list. Enter now for your chance to win trips to all 30 ballparks. Yes, all 30. MLB.com/journey to 30 sweeps. It's been a shorter road back than the docs expected. Tony Santillan, first outing in exactly 2 months. He told the Reds medical staff he would be back in August. He has met that goal ahead of schedule. He is on the mound.
Nice to see the old boy back out there. He is a gamer's gamer.
He looked excellent, very efficient in his rehab outings. He said he listened to his body the whole time. He took the advice of the medical staff. He was not reckless, but he felt like he knew his own body. He knew before the last MRI it would come out cleanly. 3-0.
Right now he's got to temper that adrenaline. You know it is pumping.
He is an intense man as it is. Taking on Nolan Arenado, who has homered, reached on catcher's interference, grounded out. That's a 4-pitch walk. And this is part of why Terry Francona said,
good point,
got to try to get him in. I mean, 11-4, normal Tony Santillan, you're probably not pitching him here, but he needs to pitch. Tim Tawa has singled, homered, and lined out. And there is strike 1.
It's one of those things, you go on rehab in the minor leagues and you're working in the training room, you get yourself back and you get back out on the big league mound, and this is after 2 or 3 times pitching in AAA. John, it's not the same.
Peel says he went.
You can try to push yourself as hard as you can, try to mimic in your head game situations when you're pitching in AAA, but as soon as you step back on a big league mound, you feel like your ears are about to explode.
0-2. Gets by Stevenson, a jog up to second by Arenado. Well, pitch.
And I think every pitcher, player that's ever had to do that would love to be able to mimic that game situation when they're on rehab. And nobody's ever able to do it.
In the air, deep left center. Leday, deep track, has it. Tag at second, throw toward third. De La Cruz relay in there safely, standing. Arenado 90 feet away. Yeah, when I spoke with Tony the other day, one of the things that jumps out, he's been smiling a lot, and he actually is a teddy bear, incredibly sweet, nice man who's intensely focused on the mound. But you don't see him independently smile a ton. He's been doing that lately. He's been so excited about this opportunity. He said his catch play was very important to him in coming back. Why is that? What can you gain from that as you try to get back?
That's how you read your arm, your release point, your stuff. That for a reliever, that's where you have all of your feel. It's not when you're on the mound. It's when you're playing catch, flat ground, with whoever is catching you, and you know when the ball's coming out of your hand the way that it's supposed to.
Vargas fouls back, strike 2.
But I will say this, that long fly ball that was out to the warning track in left field, as soon as that ball left the bat, I assure you that Tony Santillan said, all right, that's enough of this. Because you go from the newness of being back on a big league mound and happy and all that to, I got a job to do.
Oh, 2. Defensive swing by Vargas, pops it to Stewart. That was a swing of self-preservation, I felt like, coming up and in.
But you see the different purpose in that at bat versus the first 2 at bats of this inning.
Our UC Health pitch tracks. Now Jose Fernandez, who has singled, he's 1 for 3. Santillan's April was very strong. As May came, the whole bullpen had its issues that dominoed when Pagan got hurt. It looked like
as soon as Pagan went down, everybody tried to do too much.
And it looked like right before Tony suffered the oblique injury, he was starting to
get
find
it back
himself
together.
again.
Yeah, I agree.
Way high. So one thing Jim Day has shared in the past, Tony will often send a GIF, animated picture, text to the coaching staff about his availability. That usually happens with day games. I asked him if he sent one in advance of this, and he said yes. Right after his last rehab. Good glove there by Stevenson.
What, did he send a King Kong picture?
Jim, do you know what the last one was?
I'm not privy to the last one, but when he is feeling good, it's been known to be something on the wrestling elk, and that was like a Goldberg spear from the past. I need to find out what the latest edition is, though. Maybe he'll tell me after the game.
Three-one. Snaps into strike.
Back in game mode. If it's 3-1 and you're on rehab, you don't throw that pitch. You're throwing a heater. When it's your run standing at third and you know what's going on the back of your baseball card, hooking.
Payoff pitch. Ball 4. It's a second walk on the outing and inning, and at the corners now for Ryan Walchman. He's 0 for 3, ground out, fly out, strikeout. First pitch over second base, base hit. Arenado scores. Fernandez flies first to third. A run in for the Diamondbacks, 11-5.
Fastball down the middle. Waldschmidt got enough of the barrel there to get it into right field.
Lars Nootbaar. Elevated strike. Couple of hits tonight. RBI fielder's choice. He's also doubled. TJ Antone gets up in the Reds bullpen. Santillan's been ahead 0-2 on 3 different hitters. Also had one at bat decided on 1 pitch. Stewart can't see it. McLean coming over to help. It's in the seats. It's a tall roof here in Tampa. You see ricochets off of the lowered parts of the ceiling. There's the giant circular formation above the playing field. It doesn't happen here all that much. That's a high pop to make contact. Not a true catwalk here. First pitch, center field, Myers. A long fly ball out. His first inning back, his first game in 2 months. Tony Santillan has a frame in the books. We'll go down to Jim Day for a special day break on Players Weekend.
John, thank you very much. One of the side attributes of Players Weekend is interest, causes, and appreciation. And tonight they're celebrating causes. And for Andrew Abbott, we've documented many times his belief in the Joe Nuxall Miracle League, and up at the Joe Nuxall Miracle League fields doing yeoman's work, in which he has participated many times, not only out there in Fairfield, but also at Great American Ballpark, hosting some of those kids at GABP. It's one of his life's loves. And let's hear from Andrew for more on this.
But I needed to make the connection to Kim when I debuted, and you know, they've been nothing but gracious toward me, and you know, I would want to wear it with pride. Joe Nuxall's a big name around here, so is Tom Seaver, so is a lot of other guys that have worn that number. So you know, I really just wanted to do right, and I want to be involved. My mom was a special education teacher, so that's kind of just been my nature to hang around kids, you know, with disabilities of all, you know, of all varieties. So, you know, I wouldn't say I'm a little more well equipped to you know, to give them the space, or you know, to be around them, to know what the, you know, tendencies are. But I just take a lot of time because I think it's special for those kids. Like, they want to be just like us, and you know, inspiring them to go do something, and telling them that their disability isn't what's holding them back. So I think it's really important to do that.
He mentioned his mom there, a special ed teacher, and having been around his parents several times, there is no doubt where he got it from. They raised him properly.
One of the many good guys. Thank you, Jim, and kind thanks to Andrew for sharing. The folks of the Nuxall Miracle League do a terrific job. It's a heroic venture, and it's a lot of fun. If you have a chance to go out to their games, do so. It's pure joy. It's the joy factory, as I think very accurately call it. Reds have 11 runs on 16 hits. And Cowboy, you pointed it out early what Ellie's done. Kevin Ginkel is in for the Diamondbacks. The top 3 Reds tonight have 11 of the 16 hits. They have scored 8 of the 11 runs.
When the Reds score, that's normally where it comes from. They don't come much better than Andrew Abbott, by the way.
Top 3 hitters, 11 hits. 5th time a Reds top 3 has done that, going back to 1900. And that's a good bad thing, right? It's good that you're getting a productive run top of the order. That's independently great. The Reds lineup for long stretches has been very top heavy. Finding depth, stretching that lineup is critical for near-term greater success.
Yeah, if you're going to win, the teams that win the majority of their ball games have deeper lineups. And no matter how good your top 3-4 hitters are, you can't count on them every single night. There have to be some other guys that play a part in that run scoring ability.
Stewart, 3 of those hits. RBIs come around a couple of times. 2-2.
Slider here after that.
There it is. Cowboy called it.
Well, they threw him all fastballs and then came in on the 1-2 pitch. You had to know that a breaking ball was coming afterwards.
Entering tonight, Sal Stewart on pace for 34 home runs, 121 RBIs as a rookie. Reds haven't had a 30 home run hitter in 5 years. Swing and miss. J.J. Bleday has gone for the cycle. His 4 hits are StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. The home run secured the cycle.
But the ball that was hit out to right center, none of those balls were hit to the left side of second base. But the ball that was hit to right center field, that's a ball that was close to the outside corner, and he was able to get the barrel to it and drive it.
And you think that's part of the next step for Bleday?
I do. I think it is the next step, and he's got to figure out a way to survive when teams only pitch him away and they never come back towards his sweet spot, which is middle in. If you can foul off that pitch out there, maybe you can lull the pitcher into thinking, you know what, I've got him set up for the ball in, and then you smoke it.
Swing and miss. Slider strikes him out. By the way, Bleday has one career 5-hit game. It came almost exactly 2 years ago in Cincinnati when he was with the A's. Julian Aguilar started the game for the Reds that night. Bleday was 5 for 5 and a triple shy of the cycle. Tyler Stevenson, single, double. He's knocked in 3, including a couple of sac flies.
Great American Ballpark does not lend itself to a whole lot of triples unless your name is Elly De La Cruz.
So that's part of what stands out in 2 ways, right? The idea that Elly had a cycle there because it's arguably the hardest ballpark to triple in, while this is the second best park to triple in. And the Reds hadn't had a road cycle in over 110 years. The other cycles had all come at home. Granted, many of those predated Great American Ballpark. In fact, all but Elly's did. Strike. Antone is ready in the Reds bullpen. Looks like he'll get the ball for the home ninth. Struck him out. Ginkel strikes out the side. 3 more outs for the Reds to tie the series. It's Reds TV from PNC Bank.
I went to the Children's Hospital this last week, visited the kids, just hang out. I finally got my shoes in, so I quickly sent them back over. But 2 of the kids, really struck a chord in my heart. Dex and then a kid named Jackson. So I sent them back my shoes to those 2 kids, and I was like, hey, would you guys, color on these, have some fun. And so Dex did this one. I mean, it looks like a really good baseball seam that goes all the way around with my name and the Reds logo on it, which is super cool. Has his name on the back. And so, yeah, those are going to be super cool. Got the pitching toe, too, so just to keep them safe, right? And then Jackson did these. These look like it's a Toy Story theme. So I got Woody on one side, Buzz Lightyear on the other, and you got a friend in me, and his name Jackson on the toe of that. So that's pretty cool. Very cool shoes, man. They're really good.
I like that a lot.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Stevenson donning the catcher's gear, painted by Calvin. Antone, a staple with Cincinnati Children's. Sticks a strike 2-1. Something he never wanted any personal fanfare over, but on this Players Weekend, Jim did a story the other day and many of his visits, just trying to show the spotlight on the men and women who help the kids and their families at Children's and the patients themselves. McLean perfectly positioned. A 1 out. Now it's Moreno, whose hit and on base streak is on the line. He's 0 for 4, including a strikeout. He entered with the longest active hit and on base streaks in the big leagues.
You've got a friend in me. Imagine as a big leaguer and you get caught up in all this stuff that's going on in the game, and you look down at your shoe and you think to yourself, wow.
Blistered fair. The streak continues. Standing double for Moreno, hits in 15 straight, on in 16 consecutive games.
Because there's a lot of times as a pitcher you feel like you're out there on an island, and you look down at your shoe and it says you've got a friend in me. Oh boy, I love that. Just love it.
And of course the outstanding song, one of the long-standing main themes of that franchise. That folksy connected feel. Perdomo went, end in the zone, strike 1. Oh for 4 tonight. He's used a timeout, multiple ABs tonight. ABS. All right. Powered by T-Mobile. I mean, it is the 9th inning, but that felt emotional and a bit of a reach, and that is a strike.
Well, I guess you better guard the plate now.
Antone on the ear, loves using that sweeper. Grounded to short, backhand De La Cruz freezes Moreno, throw in time. Reds are 1 out away. Now Nolan Arenado has been aboard 3 times, a homer, catcher's interference, a walk. He has scored 3 times. Antone using that top of the zone a lot.
Yeah, that's a good pitch up there to Arenado, but if it's down and gets to the outside corner, stays on the plate, that's the one he handles.
And we saw that on his home run down the line earlier in the game. He's done it against the Reds a good amount over the years. Good looking pitch, called a ball. Both teams out of challenges through 9. Tim Tawa on deck. Moreno off second. 3-1. Upstairs strike. Struck him out, and the Reds win it. Their offense erupts on a historic night. J.J. Bleday made some history and set a new career benchmark. The Reds, in convincing fashion, take down the Diamondbacks 11-5.
Yeah, we knew that the Diamondbacks would come out aggressive early, and the Reds matched it and then some. Some power hitting tonight from this Reds offensive unit.
The top of the order, incredibly productive, and a cycle realized by J.J. Bleday. He got the double out the gate and bounced past Tawa, drove in the first run of the game. His second time up, third inning, he got the hardest one out of the way, the triple to the gap. That also drove in a run. That was the Reds' second score of the game. He greeted Zach Littell, first man to face him, bounced a base hit in the fourth. And then the first pitch he saw leading off the sixth inning, home run cycle.
Well, there's nothing better than that big smile celebration. Job well done.
His 21st home run, a new outright career high, his first career cycle. First cycle on the road for the Reds in well over a century. Now that gamer, as Jim Day would say, solid. It was a bat that got it done. Bleday downstairs with Jim Day.
Now you want to talk about solid, John. JJ, I don't know if it's hit you yet, but man, you hit for the cycle.
Man, what a day. I mean, words can't even describe. I mean, that was wild. That was absolutely wild.
This may be tough to answer, but going forward, when you think back on this night or someone asks you about this night, what are some memories that you're going to share?
Just compete mode. I think that's what it was going into today. It was just like, you never know what's going to happen when you show up to the ballpark. You know, you never know what you're capable of until you go out and do your best. So I'm going to just remember what I was doing earlier on today and just getting ready to compete.
This game is about special moments like that, and baseball embraces history. Have you thought about forever? I mean, this is going to be your night. It's going to be looked back upon many, many times.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm 50, 60 years old, I mean, this day will forever be ingrained in my memory, on a baseball field in the big leagues.
The triple is the hardest to get. You're up there a home run shy. Were you thinking about it?
I was trying. I would say, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But I mean, every time I went out to go play defense, I was like kind of visualizing, what if, and how I would celebrate. And next thing you know, I was able to hit that home run to get it done.
And it's your 21st home run as well. That's a new career high. What's that mean to you?
That's just a blessing. That's another cool way to get the career high along with the cycle. I mean, just a blessing, and just a great day in the big leagues.
Congratulations, a night we'll remember for a long, long time.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
That is J.J. Bleday, Cycle Man. Stay with us on the other side. It's the Reds postgame show. We'll put a capper on J.J.'s night and a big night for the Reds. Stay with us.